What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Cyrus Obsidian, and happy new year. On the day of recording, this is New Year's Eve, but by the time you probably watch this, it is the new year. But we are just wanting to say thank you and much appreciation to you guys, the viewers who have been watching my videos. So we're going to do a year in the recap video and send you on your way. So this will be short, but let us dive on in. So to kick things off, I just wanted to say thank you again so much. Your guys' viewership, comments, likes, everything has meant so much to me as I have been going on this YouTube journey. Since I have started, we have seen a great uptake in video content. You've helped me as a content creator become better, and we are a better duelist in the end of things. So we're going to start off by showing you some of the videos that you guys, the viewers, liked, and some updated deck lists on some of those videos that you guys have seen. So to kick things off, we will start with my personal favorite and a fan favorite of Virtual World. So my Virtual World combo guide that I debuted earlier on this year has taken an uptake in views. And with that, we decided to come up with a new deck list. Now, this deck list is very much experimental, but it is up to you to decide whether you want to try it out. You can edit it how you want. But this is just kind of a basis of what I thought Virtual World could be in the future going forward. And yes, it might be weird to see both Crimson Dragon and Ultimate Zolkin in the same deck, but trust me guys, I think the goo is cooking here. This can be a really good combo deck going forward, especially for a synchro variant that is reliant on the graveyard. The only downside of this deck is there are other decks that can do this a lot better. But with access to synchro 6s, 9s, and 12s, you're able to play so much of a variety. And if you wanted to, you could even play the Mud Dragon, the Muddy Mud into Dragoon package, which is still viable and still solid. So the next video that, or I guess the next string of videos you guys liked, were my competitive Pendulum Magician builds. Honestly, the onset of this channel was initially built to be a Pendulum Rogue like channel, and as you can see, we have definitely strayed away from that as we try to keep up with the meta ourselves. And you know, our competitive Pendulum Magician, the combo guide that went along with it, and even the Master Duel combo guide were all taken very highly, and those came out earlier this year in January, February, and again in March as Master Duel finally debuted. That's the Master Duel Pendulum stuff. And we do have an updated deck list for the Pendulum build if you are wanting to play that at your locals. The Master Duel version, if you check out the video from back in March, that video is still solid. You can still play it that way. You could also play it with the Melodious engine, which is just very small. It gives you more engine to play with, but it's still solid. But as for a competitive version to take to locals, this is the one that I decided to come with. It does play on the Zarg engine a lot because I think that engine is really solid going forward. It is good when you can play around the Ryzeal stuff, since Ryzeal is going to be the biggest threat to play against. Shifter not seeing a huge uptake in the meta either is going to be great. The Malice cards can't hit it because the Q Hearts Cryptor, that's only a one-time removal. The Savage to Save Worm, that can hit the pen scale on activation. But as for the White Binder, since we aren't graveyard reliant, you are safe from playing around that, which is going to be really great. You're just going to be playing into the hand traps like normal, but with the depth that this deck has, I think it has some potential going forward. It's just going to take the right pilot to really push it to that advantage that it can be. Next, one of the other videos that you guys loved, and honestly I loved playing this deck too, was Shining Sarcophagus. And then this was the Floodgate Shining Sarcophagus version in particular that you guys had the most viewership on. So I decided to come up with a new deck list for it. Whether or not I'll play it at locals is a different question. But we decided to go away from the shifter route of the deck, and we decided to play it more of a Kashtira engine, because the Kashtiras being level 7s, getting access into level 7s is going to be really key, because this will let you get into a platinum gadget line, which you can get your gadget trio out. which is really cool to see. And then you're able to get the ball rolling from there. The Kashtira engine will also help you bait out hand traps, so that way your Shining Sarcophagus engine is safe. The only downside, again, is consistency with this deck. Not playing the shifter route, since shifter isn't good in the meta at the moment. You are playing less hand traps, you're being less reactive on your opponent's turn, but you are being a board breaker approach. If you do take out the Ashes and Imperms, you could play things like Book of Eclipse, which is really great against the Ryziel, Fiendsmith, just those decks in particular, because it helps bait out a hand trap or one of their forms of interruption. You can also play Ultimate Slayer in this too. Ultimate Slayer would go really hard. You can drop the Typhon or the Baguska, so you can play Meteorologic Aggregator for that. You could also, if you wanted to, play Bucephalus, so you could send Garura as well for another Ultimate Slayer target. Totally up to you, and I think that's how my deck list will change in the future after I try this one a little bit more in the current format. But that is the Shining Sarcophagus version. I loved this deck. I had so much fun playing it, and it had been a hot minute since I had an actual fun time playing a deck. Shining Sarcophagus was definitely one of those. So there's that. The last video, which I am very surprised to see, was our post-ban list Rescue Ace video, which honestly, I can understand the hype with Rescue Ace getting Airlifter back to 3. We could say goodbye Wanted Engine, goodbye OSS, goodbye Diabell Star, and we can strictly play on a Rescue Ace engine, which is really cool. So going first in this meta, as you can see, we played a couple different deck lists. We had some success with some, we didn't have success with others, and we had some pretty average results. So going forward, I decided to drop it down to a 40 card version, and this is the deck list that we are gonna try out in the future. The side deck is still in workings, but I think we are gonna go for more of a board breaker approach for our side deck. Eclipses, Ultimate Slayer, Thrust into whatever we need. But going first, I think this deck list is solid, playing 15 forms of hand traps in our main. We did up our hydrants up to 3, so that way we can see it a little bit more often. We did keep 1-for-1, Rhoda, Pot of Prosperity, the Called By, just so that way we are adamant about seeing our Airlifter into Hydrant engine. And soon we will have a deck combo guide for this version. It will be a little bit different just because I haven't edited it on paper yet, so, but that's aside the point. Hand traps are always interchangeable for the format, so mine is going to look very structured for my locals experience. This one is more of a general list where you can play the Nibs, Veilers, Imperms, since we are all brokies here, keep us all on a budget so that way we can come up on top. And as you can see, the extra deck is pretty solid. Dropping the Super Poly engine for this deck gave me more diversity, with Almirage being able to play, so I can keep my Anima for more critical junctions, upping SP back to 2, just so that way we are able to dodge around things, and putting in an access code talker, which is going to be critical at just clearing boards. It's a fun deck to play, and I am so happy that we can finally say goodbye to the Wanted engine and we can play Rescue Ace as it was meant to be. But that is it, everyone. Thank you for this journey again. I have been very appreciative of you guys watching my videos and always coming back and checking things out. So thank you. This is a 2024 recap, and I wish you guys a very happy 2025 as we go into it, the new year. We are going to be adding some Master Duel content back into the channel now that I can finally play it on my computer. And we're going to be jumping in with some fun experiences. And I'll let you in on a little hint. We're taking some of our TCG decks into Master Duel to see how we can do. But with that, I will pass it over to you guys and stay safe in this happy new year.